All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about gluten.
Oh,
We've seen all this stuff all over the internet,
yeah.
all these gluten-free diets, and is it really bad for you? And, I'm really excited to dig into this video we have today. It's called, Is Gluten Really Bad for You?
Oh.
With a question mark.
Oh, okay.
Parentheses, Gastroenterologist explains.
Oh.
And one of the things that I saw here is apparently the idea that gluten causes inflammation in everyone is a myth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. So where'd this whole idea come from?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with celebrities. Like when they started really endorsing gluten-free diets,
Yeah.
it just kind of blew up and it became this trend.
Yeah, it's almost like a status symbol, I feel like.
Exactly.
And so it got amplified without really any scientific backing.
Right.
So in 2024, what does the science actually say about gluten?
So there was this NIH study on non-celiac gluten sensitivity. And they looked at all these people who thought they were sensitive to gluten.
Right.
They had like bloating and fatigue after they ate it.
Yeah, I've heard people say that.
And what they found was that when these people were given gluten in like a controlled setting where they didn't know if we were getting gluten or not, there was no difference in their symptoms.
Wow, so it was all in their head.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So then what about all these gluten-free products that are
right.
popping up?
Well, the thing is with these gluten-free products is that a lot of them are made with like refined grains and added sugar to try to make them taste and feel like the
real thing.
Gluten-containing foods.
Yeah.
But they end up lacking the fiber and nutrients that you would get in whole grains.
So they're not really that healthy?
Not necessarily, no.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So who should actually be avoiding gluten?
The people who really need to avoid gluten are those with celiac disease, because that's an autoimmune disorder.
Right.
Where eating gluten actually triggers an immune response.
Okay, and what happens when?
That damages the small intestine.
Oh, wow.
And that can lead to all sorts of problems.
Like what kind of problems?
Well, you can have nutrient deficiencies.
Okay.
And even long-term complications.
Wow.
So it's really important to get diagnosed by a doctor if you think you might have celiac disease.
Makes sense. So I guess the takeaway here is that gluten isn't really this evil thing that we all need to avoid.
Exactly.
It's more about understanding its impact and who needs to avoid it for medical reasons.
Yeah.
So if going gluten-free isn't necessarily healthier for everyone, it makes me wonder, what are some other ways that we can improve our diet and overall well-being? Like maybe focusing on eating more whole foods, cutting back on processed sugars, and really paying attention to what our bodies need. It's definitely something for all of us to think about. All right, thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.